In 2017, YFN Lucci would honour his lost friend Big Nut by releasing his debut EP titled Long Live Nut. This release was a success, landing at number 27 on the Billboard charts, and spawning the hit single Every Day We Lit with PNB Rock, landing at number 33 on Billboard, the highest charting song of Lucci's career, and a track that is, in my opinion, a certified classic. But it wasn't all good news for YFN Lucci in 2017, however. Lucci was arrested in 2017 after refusing to pull over and fleeing from the cops, eventually being arrested at gunpoint, being caught with 3 weapons, but fortunately no drugs, despite the police claiming that they could smell marijuana, with Lucci himself being pictured balling in the back of a cop car with 2 chains on, looking clean and unbothered. Apparently following this incident, Lucci made bail, getting out, hopping straight on a private jet, and still managing to make a big show in another state. A close call for Lucci, but unfortunately he couldn't stay out of trouble. Again in June 2017, he's arrested in Tennessee alongside Lil Wayne's daughter Reginae, who he was dating at the time. With these kinds of incidents combined with the music, Lucci was getting a whole bunch of attention, both good and bad. Meanwhile, in 2017, Young Thug had spent months crafting a country-inspired new mixtape. Originally titled Easy Breezy Beautiful Thugger Girls, or EBBTG for short, it was eventually released under the title Beautiful Thugger Girls on the 16th of June 2017. This date was coincidentally the birthday of Tupac Shakur, and naturally a lot of different Tupac-related things were going on around the time of Tupac's birthday. This included the release of long-awaited Tupac biopic, All Eyes on Me, but there was also YFN Lucci, who had released a tribute song to Tupac called Like Pac on Tupac's birthday too. Now this wouldn't have been a big deal had Young Thug not hopped on Twitter a couple of days later, revealing to the world that he had actually dropped his Beautiful Thugger Girls album on Tupac's birthday on purpose, because as he said in his tweet, he is the new Pac, and that Young Thug is the thug that Tupac didn't get to become, with Thug saying that he was going to finish what Tupac started. Now, this kind of comment naturally didn't rub hip-hop purists up the right way at all. But then again, let's not forget who's truly to blame for the Young Thug Tupac comparisons. Wyclef Jean, who was the first person to originally start calling Young Thug the new Tupac in 2016. But anyway, for YFN Lucci, this was the perfect opportunity to dig up their old bitter feud. And in response to Thug's tweets, Lucci piped up on Twitter himself, saying Tupac would have never worn a dress, clown emoji. Now, Thug responded to this with cryptic tweets, questioning whether Lucci was big mad or little mad, and calling him a peon and a buster. But then Thug's tweets took a little bit more of a dark turn, as he went on to say that Lucci should humble himself and thank God that he's in a position to take care of his mother. You know, the one who was shot in his home, with Thug going on to suggest that doing too much could lead to Lucci being put to sleep. Now, in spite of this very brief flare-up for all of Twitter to see, the real feud between these two remained beneath the surface for the remainder of 2017. That summer, Thug would go on to have the biggest debut of his entire career, his feature on chart-topping global hit Havana with Camila Cabello. Meanwhile, Lucci, still relatively new to becoming a Billboard charting successful rapper, is being profiled by rap media organizations like Complex, talking about how all of his dreams have finally come true through the music industry. Thing is though, in the streets of Atlanta, things were still pretty dangerous for both sides. One incident did make its way to the media, but has been pretty well hidden since it happened, was the January 12th shooting of YSL rapper Lil Duke outside of Atlanta's Magic City nightclub, when apparently following a confrontation inside the club, Duke was chased out of the club by a man with a gun, eventually being shot outside. According to a police report that later leaked, Duke was chased by 4 men, being shot in his shoulder and foot and left bleeding heavily. He was able to flee to a nearby Greyhound bus terminal, where he found safety and was eventually taken to hospital. Now, this incident was generally kept under wraps, but a surveillance clip from the incident leaked online around a year after it happened. But since then, that clip has been pretty well scrubbed from the internet. Now, after a lot of digging, I was actually able to find that clip, but I'm not going to risk putting that up on YouTube. I mean, this kind of incident just goes to show you, no matter how much success you or your team can achieve in the music industry, there's always going to be danger in the streets, as the shadow of past events continues to follow you into the present. But despite the dangers his team were facing in the streets, this didn't stop Young Thug continuing to provide opportunity for his team and his family. Summer 2018 actually saw Young Thug releasing his first YSL label compilation album called Slime Language. Meanwhile, YFN Lucci was also having a great 2018 focusing on music. His March 2018 album release, Ray Ray from Summerhill, ends up going 14 on Billboard, the highest performing project of his career. But as usual, there's no shortage of controversy surrounding Lucci either. In July 2018, he gets arrested once again, this time on video.
Y'all, Lucci is dead ass getting arrested right there. Holy f, this is motherfucking Lucci. Holy sh, y'all. and Lucci.
Now, towards the end of 2018, there was a brief glimmer of hope that maybe Young Thug and YFN Lucci might be on the road to making amends, when both Lucci and Thug appeared on separate tracks on the same project, Atlanta rap legend T.I.'s Dime Trap. Unfortunately, this didn't lead to any kind of reconciliation between these two sides, and T.I.'s album would ultimately be the closest we would ever get to seeing these two ATL giants squash the beef and jump on a track together. And moving forward into 2019, the unfortunate truth is, the beef would reignite, and YFN Lucci and Young Thug would once again go back and forth exchanging deadly threats, once again on Twitter.